What's up guys, it's Mike and welcome to your full-blown arm attack workout. So this is a demo video where I'm going to be going over how to do the principles of the sets, how to do the repetitions, and also to cover form. So in this workout, our main goal is to go over the two different types of sets that's going to drive the most amount of intensity and blood in the regions that we're working on in our arms. So we're going to be going over two principles, monster sets and supersets. So a superset is basically two exercises done back to back to increase the intensity in a set. For example, if you're going to be doing a wide grip curl and we're going to superset that with close grip curls, you're going to be doing them non-stop, okay, with no rest in between. That's going to amp up the intensity and make your muscles work that much harder. Now, a monster set is very similar to a superset. You're going to be doing the same thing, except you're going to be working on opposing muscle groups. For example, you're going to be working on a bicep and tricep. Two sets done back-to-back, non-stop. That means no rest period in between. For example, doing a dumbbell curl and right afterwards, dropping the weight and going right into a dip. So if you see here on the board, our first exercise is going to be an alternating dumbbell curl with overhead barbell extension, which is the monster set. Then we have dumbbell curls working on biceps with dips, weighted dips, which is also a monster set. Then we're going to finish with superset, and monster set. The main goal here is to drive as much blood into the arm region as possible and stimulate those muscles the most we can, because the more blood that's in your muscles, in your biceps and triceps, the more muscle activation they can do and the more stimulation and more muscle growth we can have. So we're going to go ahead and go over form and also how to set up your monster sets and supersets the most effective way. So our first exercise is going to be alternating dumbbell curl with an overhead barbell extension. So what I recommend is for you to have your dumbbells and your barbell available right next to you, so this way you don't have to go across the gym or go across the room to grab the weights. You can have them right there and you're just going to drop and do them back to back. So when you're doing your alternating dumbbell curls, the main thing you want to focus on is making sure, number one, that your elbows is next to your body. And when you curl, you don't want your elbows to go forward nor back. You want it to go straight up and down. So don't do this or don't do this, okay? Either one of those is gonna not work your biceps, it's gonna work more forms. So next thing you want to focus on is making sure your wrist is straight and you're curling towards the ceilings. Curling towards the ceiling. So besides that, you're going to be doing 7 repetitions. Right after you're done, without rest, I want you to grab your barbell, as you see here, and we're going to be doing an overhead barbell extension. So when you're doing this exercise, you can do this sitting down or standing up. So I'm going to go ahead and show you sitting down here, just so you guys can see me a little better. When you're getting the weight up, what I usually do is I clean it up right here in front of my chest, press it up. Now from here, what you want to do is you want to come down with your elbows out and press it back up. Now even though the name of this exercise is an extension, but I want you guys to think of this more like a press. Okay? The reason why is because when you do a real extension, which is your elbows forward, you're not going to be able to use as much weight and it's a lot more pressure on your elbows. We want to put the pressure on your triceps as much as possible without injuring your elbows. So by having it come down, elbows flared out, pressing it up, down, press, down, press. The next thing you want to do is make sure, if you see how I have my head tilted forward just a bit, I'm going to sit here on the side so you guys can get a better view. So I have my head tilted just a bit forward to give some room for my arms to come down. Now, if I didn't do that, I would have to extend all the way back and it would require a lot more range of motion. So make sure you tilt your head slightly forward to give yourself a little more room to do the press up. So these are monster sets, so you're going to make sure you do them back to back with no rest. Now you want to rest about a minute between every monster set, and you're going to be doing 3 sets of 7 reps for the monster sets. After that, you can rest up to 2 minutes before moving on to the next exercise. So next exercise we have is dumbbell curls, monster set with weighted dips. So the difference between this dumbbell curl and our first one is you're going to be using 2 arms. And we're also not going to be alternating or twisting our wrists on the way up. I want you to have your palms facing forward. Your dumbbells can be out here next to your leg or right here in front of you. It's personal preference, up to you. Now what I want you to do is curl up and down. Personally for me, it feels a little more comfortable having it right next to me. But same thing on your form. Keep your elbows next to you, wrists straight, curl towards the ceiling and not towards your chest or your body. Now you're going to find that you're not going to be able to do as much weight in this exercise as you can with alternating form because you're doing 2 arms at the same time. But it's okay, we're going to work your biceps a little differently in this exercise. So you're going to do 7 reps and afterwards you're going to do a monster set with weighted dips. So on your weighted dips, you're going to grab a weight, you're going to put it in your lap, hands right next to your hips, put your feet onto a chair or any type of elevated surface, come down and up. If you don't have an elevated surface, it's okay, but it will give you more range of motion. When you come down to about 90 degrees and back up. You don't want to flare your elbows out, but you want to keep your elbows further back as you can. Now, on this exercise, you notice we're going to be doing 3 sets till failure on your dips. So that means you're going to be doing 7 reps of dumbbell curls, and without rest, you're going to move right into the dips. Total of 3 monster sets. Our next exercise we're going to be doing is the superset. We're going to be doing wide barbell curls, supersetting with close barbell curls. So the reason why we're doing that is because wide barbell curls works a little more on the inside of your biceps, while close works a little on the outside. So when we put them together, we're going to be able to maximize the amount of tension onto your biceps. So again, you see me using an easy curl bar just for demonstration purposes, but you can go with a straight bar if you like. It's more of a personal preference. When you're going with a wide grip, make sure to grab wide enough to where you're wider than your shoulders. I usually would call your shoulder width being more of your standard grip or your neutral grip. Anything that's inside your shoulders width is considered a close grip. Anything on the outside is considered a wide grip. So for me, I'm going to grab all the way to the ends of this barbell. So this way, this grip is wider than my shoulders. Same rules apply when you're curling. Elbows next to your side, wrist straight, curl towards the ceiling. And make sure you're contracting your biceps. So we're going to be doing 7 reps of wide. And without stopping, change grip, go into the middle. And we're going to be doing 7 reps of close. When you're doing a close grip, notice how your elbows are resting more about your stomach, your side here. Your shoulders are slightly tilted forward. Try your best to keep your chest out. It's going to be a little tough, but you want to keep your chest out as much as you can. You want to prevent doing this, having your shoulders too forward, because that's really going to limit the range when you're curling. You want to keep your chest out as much as you can. I know it's a difficult position to be in, but as much as you can, so this way you can get a full range of motion up and down. You're going to be doing 3 sets of supersets on that, all biceps. So next, we have overhead dumbbell extension with tricep kickbacks. Now we're going to be doing supersets for all triceps. So your overhead dumbbell extension, we're going to be doing that with single dumbbell on one arm. So let's grab a 20 here. So when you're doing your tricep extension on your one arm, you can either have your other free hand on your leg, on your side, sometimes even supporting this arm. So it really depends on what's more comfortable for you. Your main goal when you're extending your arms is you want to make sure that you have enough tension on your triceps. So that means you don't want your elbows to be pointed too far out this direction, or basically too far out to where you're doing more of a press than an extension. You notice in some of the other exercises where I talk about extensions as more of like a press. Well, in this particular exercise, you will be doing a true extension.
So weight up, come down, and extend. You want to try to lock out on the top just briefly. And make sure you get a full range of motion. So you want to go as far back down as you can and right back up. Notice I'm tilting my head slightly forward so it gives the dumbbell enough room to come down. Okay. So I like to even it out and do it on the other arm. Same applies. Try to lean your arm forward. Try to lean your arm to the side as much as you can. Now, if you do have it pointed slightly out, it's okay. But once you get out to a certain point to where it's almost like you're doing a shoulder press, this exercise is going to be ineffective for triceps. So this is kind of what I mean here. Notice I'm almost doing like a one-arm shoulder press. So you don't want that. You want to keep your arms as straight as possible and extend up. This is an excellent exercise to work your arms independently, especially your triceps, and also to give that area that comes out here on the side. Really works on the side of your triceps and give that thickness right on the side. So this way your arms have that part that points out. So it's really good for your tricep development. So we're going to be doing 7 reps of the single overhead extension. Then we're going to be supersetting it with tricep kickbacks, and we're going to be using both arms on that. On your tricep extension, make sure you want to squat down. Make sure your knees are not too forward or basically past your toes. You want to have your body about a 45-degree angle. Elbows up. You don't need to be parallel. You want to also have your arms at about 45-degree angle. Extend out and back. Have a slight lockout on the top just so you can make sure you fully contract your triceps. And we're going to be doing 7 reps. So these are supersets, all for triceps. So we are doing 7 reps of overhead extension. Do it on both arms and then grab your dumbbells and go right into that kickback. So 3 sets of 7 reps. Your next exercise, we're going to go back to monster set to finish up this arm workout, working biceps and tris. Line dumbbell extension with dumbbell hammer curls. On your line dumbbell extension, it's similar to a skull crusher, except you're using dumbbells. What this does is it forces your triceps to stabilize the weight a lot more, causing you to work more muscle fibers. Extend the weight up, just like how you're doing a skull crusher. Come back, find a point in the ceiling, and press towards it. Down and up. Try your best to keep your elbows as stable as possible. Extend and down. You want to find a point in the ceiling, and you want to imagine your dumbbells as being like a line. Imagine your dumbbells as really like a barbell. So this way it allows you to force to do the right motion or to make them work together. If you don't do that, you might have one dumbbell going one direction while the other going the other, and it makes it a lot tougher for you to have good arm development. It's going to make a difference. That's really the point in using dumbbells for this exercise here. Just in case one arm or one tricep was stronger than another, this will force your triceps to work independently, so this way you can have the similar amount of development on both. So you're going to be doing 7 reps of that, followed by hammer curls. So hammer curls, we're going to also be doing both arms. You can sit down or stand up. Same rule applies. Keep your elbows tight next to you and curl. And don't forget, hammer curls are excellent in working your brachialis. Well, basically that muscle on the side right here. Alright, so don't forget to use a weight that's heavy enough to complete the 7 reps for each exercise. And this will conclude the demo video. I'll see you in the workout.